got to have something that you're working towards. One of the things that was funny, actually, so I worked in Coke. I knew what my pathway was going to be, and so there were a couple of us. We merged some businesses together across Australia, made the largest independent vending company, and basically got bought out by Coke. And that was my seed money to start my business. My business is a very capital intensive business, right? So I got to buy a lot of vending machines, right? So, there was a year there I turned over 3.2, and my expenses were 3.1. Like it was just, you're just constantly buying stuff. It's one of those types of industries where you take 10 years before you start to see anything, but one day it's almost like you go over this metaphorical ledge and then there's money. But you got to be disciplined. You got to be hard. You got to live like this.
Resilient. It takes that resilience you talk.
Have markdown fridge in the food. It tastes the same. You'll be fine, right? Sort of thing. I don't have a goiter on my neck for the listeners that are out there. And so the thing is that there's none of that sort of like you've just got to really be able to live lean and kick it hard. And before you know it. I think Gates was the guy that said, you overestimate what you can do in a year and underestimate what you can do in 10 years. And if you look back, and for anybody out there kicking off at the moment, eating the grilled cheese at 2 a.m, trying to get it done, 5 years from now, when you look back, you'll go, fuck, how far have I got down the field, right? And that's always been my thing, is that when everybody else goes home, I've stayed out working, and I've just outworked my debt, I've outworked my problems, I've outworked everything that's come up, and eventually, one day Robbie will be wearing, I don't know, some linen or something like that, some loafers, but it's high vis for a while. But one day that'll come for us, and I think one of the things that I've learned with partnerships and things like that as well is that when you're going down the road and you're forming a partnership with somebody or something like that. My advice to people that I've learnt the hard way is that you should both write down exactly what you want over like the next 5 years and turn it over at the same time like a game of Snap. And if it's the two people have the same thing, you're going to have a successful partnership. And if they're oddly different, I know how far down the road I want to go. If you only want to come a bit of the way, we can't be partners. Like it's just not going to work.
It's a great lesson.